Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Denise. I am a manifestation mindset life coach. Today we're going to talk about timelines, imagination, and the illusion of time. We're going to talk about all that together. I want to bring an understanding to you. I know we've all heard, many of us have heard, and even said and repeated, only imagination is real. Only consciousness is real. And I want to give you a blueprint or a map to that so that you can look at that from a perspective that helps you understand what it actually means and helps you understand it better. Because I know personally for me, there was a lot of time where I was saying it and reading it and repeating it and contemplating it, but I didn't quite understand it because to me, this reality seemed very real. And I was trying to elicit change in my 3D experience, which came with letting go of trying to do that. But we're going to talk about that. I know that's kind of something else that I've talked about before and we'll talk about again. And it all integrates and it all comes together in the end. But so time in and of itself isn't real. Time is an illusion. It's created, manifested for this realm, for this 3D reality. So time is real in this 3D reality, but it is not a fixed, definitive, real thing that actually exists outside of this manifested 3D reality. And this whole concept of having linear time, the past, the present, and the future, it's actually all occurring now spiritually in the fifth dimension. When we step back from this third dimension, your higher self, your pure consciousness self, your source energy self, your God self, whatever you want to call it, your pure love self, your pure vibration self, your pure light self, isn't really the self at all, actually. It's just all of it. It knows and understands that everything is actually vibrating at a frequency now, in every now moment, eternally. It is all happening now, 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 now. And what happens is this conditioned self, this concept of self, collapses on a specific state of consciousness, which can also be defined in the 3D reality by a period of time, right? An age range, when I was a child, this year, or we can think about the future. And so I want to point out, whenever you have a memory of childhood, even though there's a time associated with it, a period of time, maybe even a year, maybe it's, a specific birthday, even though there's a period of time associated with that memory, in imagination, in your mind, what you're actually remembering or recalling is a state of consciousness. You're recalling a vibratory frequency that you were at then, or that you have experienced, or that is available to you. And so you're not actually you're not actually remembering a time. You're remembering a consciousness, and you're not even remembering it. You are actually transcending time and going to that moment that exists now, and you're feeling it. You're in that state of consciousness. So if you look at time instead of it as time, looking at it as states of consciousness, and that it's all available always, infinitely, in each now moment, and that your job is to practice moving yourself to desired states of consciousness. So that's why revision is very helpful, because when we remember an old memory that doesn't serve us and doesn't feel good, we are basically, it's like you're astral projecting into that moment, which isn't really a moment in time. It's a moment of concept. It's a moment of consciousness. It's a moment of vibration. It's a moment of frequency. It's a moment of feeling. And you're going there now, this is why only imagination is real. This is why imagination is everything and your consciousness is everything. It's because you in each moment have the free will and the ability to go anywhere with your mind, with your thoughts, with your imagination, with your consciousness, with your awareness. And when you are there, now it's not a place you're going, obviously. It's a state you're embodying. It's what you're becoming in that moment. But when you recall a memory that doesn't feel good, you are putting yourself in that state of consciousness of unchosen, unworthy, whether it's, you were abused, you were neglected, you're putting yourself in the now moment because that's all that exists. And you're making it real for yourself because your consciousness is the only thing that's actually real. You are putting yourself in that vibrational frequency of not worthy, not good enough. Every single time you recall something uncomfortable, even if it's just something from moments ago. Every time you're imagining or perceiving your current reality or imagining your future reality as not working out in your favor, being afraid of things, whatever, falling apart, things failing, you not getting what you want, interpreting your current reality as not working out for you, people rejecting you, you're not getting the money that you need, your body doesn't feel good physically. Like every time you're there in consciousness and aware of it and dwelling in it, you are that state. I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm imperfect. I'm damaged. I'm broken. I'm failing. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. So it's really important to recognize what's happening in your 3D reality, recognize what you have manifested in terms of your past states of consciousness. I'll call it past because that is how we're operating in the 3D realm. So it's important to look at it, but you want to look at it through 5-dimensional perception. You want to look at it beyond it, outside of it, larger than it. You want to look at it with non-judgment. You want to look at it as neither good nor bad, just a thing that happened, just a state of consciousness you embodied or that is available for you to embody or that you are embodying. And then from that place of non-judgment, from that place of detachment to what the manifestation means, you're able to then perceive a new state of consciousness. But if you're attached to what this manifestation means to you, if you're attached to either a memory of I'm not enough or a present moment interpretation of I'm not enough, your vibrational frequency is matching up to that, and you can't go anywhere else but there. That's what you are being. That's what you are being. And you can't be anything else from what you're being because you're consumed being that. So that's, when I don't know about other people, but detaching and letting go, when we're talking about that, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about detaching from the judgment, detaching from the concept, detaching from the definition, detaching from the meaning you're assigning whatever's happening. In other words, if something has happened or is happening that has you concluding that you are being rejected because you must not be good enough, if you operate from that perspective and you're sitting in that place trying to change this thing so that you can feel good enough and feel wanted and chosen, you'll never get there, and you'll just create more resistance. And therefore this I'm rejected, I'm not good enough concept, state of consciousness will become stronger and have more power and be larger, and it will feel more real to you. But if you can detach from it and say, even though this experience has manifested, I'm creating everything in my reality, and I manifested this for very good reason, to show me what I can release and let go of, to show me what I can move beyond, then it's not wrong, it's not bad, it's not a mistake. It's just a manifestation to awaken you, to help you understand where you're operating from, where you're being in terms of energy. And and pulling yourself out of that attachment to it, that's where you can look at it objectively. I think that's the right word. You can perceive it, you can observe it, you can look at it from bigger than it, larger than it, from not consumed by it. You're not looking at it from I'm not enough. You're looking at it from out here of course that's not true. I'm just pure consciousness. Interesting that I manifested that experience and that it triggered this concept or this state of consciousness of being unworthy. So now I'm seeing that that's where I've been vibrating, that's where I've been existing, that's where I've been operating from. And I can actually go bigger than that. And from here, I can perceive worthiness, more than enough, always have been enough, right? And so the concept of a timeline as a linear thing limits us in our abilities to create, because it's saying this actually happened and this is what's happening right now. And from there, the human mind, the ego can't help but go, well, this is probably what's going to happen. It just can't help it. So we really want to look at it as, wait a minute, if it's all just existing right now, I can change it now. I can change my childhood now. I can change the early stages of my relationship with my specific person now, because that is available in the now moment. And if I keep recalling it, I'm being it now, right? If I'm not cleaning it up, we can use the word transmuting. A lot of people love that word. A lot of people don't know what it means. If you don't know what it means, look it up. But transmuting is turning something into something else, right? This is where I'm talking about spiritual alchemy. You are learning to recognize a state of consciousness that you're being, and you're learning to transmute it into a state that better serves you, into a state of love, into a state of fulfillment, into a state of worthiness. And again, you can't change it from in it. So if you're saying, I'm not enough, this keeps happening, remember that thing, and then he said this or she said this and they did this, and if you're sitting in that, you cannot transmute it into anything other than that, because that's what you're being. That's where you're operating from. That's the state of consciousness you're selecting in the now moment. So you really want to look at all of these memories that you're holding on to and start fulfilling yourself internally, in imagination, in consciousness, the way you wished you would have been fulfilled in the 3D experience. And that's how you're going to shift your timeline. That's how you're going to shift your state of consciousness in the now moment, is by cleaning up all that stuff that's lingering from your past that you haven't cleaned up. Transmute it, change it, turn it into love, turn it into worthiness, turn it into fulfillment, turn it into God, turn it into source energy, turn it into pure light, turn it into pure consciousness. I'm using all these different terms because people resonate with different terms. And sometimes when I say God, people go, oh, I don't believe in a God. Sometimes when I say source, people go, oh, that sounds like so-and-so, and I don't really vibe with that. It sounds woo-woo. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It can be your higher self. It can be pure energy. It can be pure consciousness. It can be God. It can be anything you want to call it. But scientifically, it's just energy. And scientifically, all energy, everything that exists in this 3D realm and beyond, is operating from a vibrational standpoint, a frequency that it's vibrating on that is representative of what it's being. And so, even energy, people get uncomfortable with that word, like, oh, energy. But no, it's all energy. Scientifically, this is energy. It all derives from pure consciousness, which is energy. And then the consciousness manifests based on its vibrational frequency into what appears to be particle form. So everything around you, even the objects that are inanimate or that appear to be solid, they hold consciousness. Their consciousness manifested. It's like It's the same thing you're derived from. It's all the same. Everything. It's all the exact same thing. It is pure consciousness that is saying, I'm going to vibrate at this frequency and I'm going to manifest as this. I'm going to have a concept that I'm this and I'm going to be that in this reality. That's it. So anyhow, now I feel like I'm veering off topic, but it's all, again, like it all integrates and it's all related and it's all very helpful. But your timelines, like the reality you're experiencing right now and your desired reality are just different timelines that are like, they're stacked on top of each other. They're all available right now, but as conditioned consciousness, you're only seeing one. You're only experiencing from one. And so even like your desired reality, it exists right now. And if you want to get to it, you're not going to get to it from the state of consciousness, the 3D perspective of the reality you're living. So you have to transcend that. You have to go beyond that. You have to detach from that reality and that concept and understand that just because it's a manifested experience doesn't mean it's truth. It doesn't mean it's all that's available. It doesn't mean that there is no other way of being or existing right now, because the desired reality is as every bit as much alive as you are right now. You're just not consciously aware of it. You're consciously aware of this version, this now moment. But if you can pull yourself out of that, which you can, pull yourself out of that, stop judging it. That's how you do that. Some of you are asking, I can hear it right now. You pull yourself out by not judging it, by not letting it define you, by not saying, oh, this is happening, that must mean this. They're bad because they've said this and it makes me feel this way. I'm bad because they've said this and it makes me feel this way. Stop judging it completely. Just, in fact, not only stop judging it, but look at it as a gift. Be grateful for it because it's a reflection. It's showing you what you're being. It's showing you what you're being. And what you're being is dictating everything you're experiencing. So even though it's showing you what you're being, you don't have to keep being it. You don't have to stay in it and damn it and be mad about it or feel sad about it or feel guilty about it or feel frustrated about it. All of that is judgment. You want to pull back and say, oh, wait, I don't have to make this mean anything. It doesn't actually mean anything. I'm just pure consciousness. I'm not unworthy because this happened, and they're not crappy or shitty because this happened. It just is. It's just part of the available consciousness that I can experience. It's just part of what's available to me. And in perceiving it and seeing it, I can transmute it and turn it into fulfillment, turn it into love. I don't have to hold on to it. I don't have to keep naming it and naming myself as a result of it and naming the other parties involved as a result of it. Stop naming everything. And then from there, you can focus your consciousness toward what you want to experience and start commanding that reality. This reality is just as available. I'm going to put my attention on this one. And I can't put my attention on this one if I'm putting my attention on this one. I can't put my attention on I'm fulfilled in a loving, harmonious relationship if my consciousness and attention is on I must not be enough because they're still not choosing me. What do I need to do to make this happen? Right? That's what it comes down to. So I think I've run out of things to say on this because I keep veering off anyway, but there's my video. This is what happens when I do a video before coffee, which actually isn't true because I don't even drink coffee every day. And oftentimes it's decaf, but still it's the mindset about it, right? That warm beverage or that iced beverage, if it's super hot, makes me feel good. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you during the next one. Bye.